Right now, in your yard, the clock is running. And most folks have no idea. Your cool season grass loves 60 to 75 degrees in the air. It loves cool soil, 50 to 65 degrees. All summer, it just sat there. Once that soil topped 85, it went dormant and hung on. Now it's waking up, and it's begging you for help. Here's the deal. Mid-August to mid-September is the window. The single best seeding stretch of the whole year. The crabgrass has quit. The summer weeds have quit. Your grass gets the ground to itself for a few precious weeks. Miss it, and you wait a full year. Tall fescue is a bunch-type grass. It grows in clumps. It will not crawl over and fill a bare spot, ever. Kentucky bluegrass does spread, slow, by underground runners. Way too slow to fix a big gap in one season. So that dead patch by the driveway, it stays dead until next fall unless you act now. A pro renovation package runs $250 to $600 or more. The same job, done yourself, is $60 to $150 in materials. Either way, the timing's the same, and the timing is everything. I say this every year, and I'll say it again. Fall is the Super Bowl. Spring is the preseason. I'm Andrew Collins. I'm 51. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I mowed lawns for money almost 30 years. Started at 12, pushing my dad's old snapper on Saturdays. Founded my own company at 23. Ran it 25 years. Sold it 3 years ago to a couple of good kids who used to work for me. These days, the only lawn I touch is mine, and yours, if you'll let me. My full-service customers paid $1,800 to $2,600 a year. $2,000 a year, mowing plus treatments. That's the honest number I anchor everything to. Quick pause. 30 seconds. Everything I know, the whole 30 years, the schedule, the products worth buying, the stuff to skip, it's all in one ebook at andrewsgreen.com. The stuff I used to charge people $2,000 a year to do. The book costs less than one bag of the fancy fertilizer. That's it. That's the pitch. You won't hear about it again today. Now, the regional flag. This is a cool season program. Kentucky, bluegrass, and tall fescue on central Ohio clay. If you're down south, this is a different animal. Bermuda, St. Augustine, zoysia. Those run opposite to us. Their renovation window is late spring into early summer. So warm season folks, listen. Do not seed right now. Don't hit it with heavy nitrogen. Don't aerate as fall comes on. You'd be fighting your own grass. The rest of you, this is your show. Job number one. Overseed your thin and bare spots. And this one's got a hard deadline. Here's why now works. Think like a seed. A seed wants two things at once. Cooling air so the baby grass doesn't fry. And soil that's still holding summer warmth underneath. Right now you've got both. That combo is germination heaven. But grass doesn't sprout overnight. Perennial rye pops fastest, 5 to 10 days. Tall fescue, 7 to 14. Kentucky bluegrass takes its sweet time, 14 to 21 days. That's why timing is everything. Mid-August to mid-September is the sweet spot. Late September is your practical cutoff. Miss it, and you're reseeding in spring. That's a fist fight with crabgrass and heat. You'll waste a full year and $50 to $150 in seed for a lawn that's still thin. No thanks. Now the rates. Write this down. New tall fescue lawn, 6 to 8 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Just overseeding thin spots, 3 to 4 pounds. New bluegrass, 2 to 3 pounds. Perennial rye to fill in, 4 to 6 pounds. Here's the part folks skip. Seed sitting on hard clay does nothing. It needs to touch dirt. So scratch the soil first. Rough it up with a rake or core aerate. Seed to soil contact. That's the whole ball game. Then water. Keep the top layer moist. Light sprinkles 1 to 3 times a day. Never let it dry out. Once it sprouts, back off slowly. Cost? Good tall fescue runs $3 to $6 a pound. Bluegrass, $4 to $8. A contractor bag lands somewhere between $50 and $150. That's cheaper than one pro overseed. And you did it in the right window. Scratch the dirt. So now, keep it wet. Job number 2. Core aerate your compacted clay. This one pairs right up with what we just did. Here's why clay is a pain. Clay packs down tight. Every footstep, every mower pass, it squeezes. That kills the pore space. Pore space is where air and water live. No pores, no oxygen. Your roots start to suffocate down there. They can't drink, they can't breathe, they just sit and struggle. So you punch holes. But how you punch them matters. A core aerator pulls actual plugs out. Little cylinders of dirt, 2 to 3 inches deep. That opens real channels. Air gets in, water gets in, roots follow. Now the myth. Some folks grab a spike aerator instead. Spikes don't pull anything. They just shove the soil sideways. On clay, that can pack it tighter. You made it worse. So hollow tines, not spikes. That's the whole ball game. Timing. September into October is your window. Fall beats spring every time. Do it when the soil's moist, not soaked. Aerate a swamp and you'll just make mud pies. And here's the beautiful part. Aerate right before you overseed. Then your seed drops down into those holes. Instant seed to soil contact. 2 jobs, 1 afternoon. Leave the plugs where they land. Don't rake them up. They melt back into the lawn in a couple weeks. Scout likes to eat a few. He's fine. Money talk. A rental core aerator runs $60 to $100 a day. Split it with Dale. He owes you. A pro job runs $100 to $250. One more myth to kill. You don't do this every year. Most clay lawns want it every 1 to 2 years. High traffic spots, more. Everybody else, chill. Pull plugs, not spikes. Then sow. Job number 3, the fall feeding. This is the most important meal your lawn eats all year. Here's why. When it cools off, your grass stops chasing height. It turns its energy downward. It's building roots. It's packing away carbohydrates for winter. Nitrogen fuels that whole process. It drives recovery. It thickens the turf. It's the difference between a lawn that limps into winter and one that explodes come spring. 2 windows in Columbus. First one, early September. That one feeds the recovery. Second one, late October into early November. Grass is still green, but growth has slowed. That late feeding is the secret weapon. Now the rate. Ohio State's turf folks say roughly half a pound to 1 pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per shot. But the bag tells you the exact spread setting. Read it. That label is legally binding. Follow it. Get a fertilizer with some slow-release nitrogen in it. That feeds steady instead of all at once. A quality bag covers 5,000 to 15,000 square feet. Runs you $20 to $60. Cheap insurance. Now the myth I sold for years. Everybody thinks spring is the big feeding. Real talk, it's not. Heavy nitrogen in early spring pushes soft, floppy top growth. That's an all-you-can-eat buffet for lawn disease. You're feeding problems, not roots. Okay, jokes aside for 30 seconds. Sweep any fertilizer off the driveway and sidewalk. That granule on concrete washes straight into the storm drain. Don't spread right before a heavy rain either. Same problem. And some towns restrict phosphorus. Check yours. The label wins every argument. That's it. That's the meal that matters. Feed the roots in fall. Job number 4. Fall broadleaf weed control. This is your best shot all year. Here's why. When it cools off, your weeds do the same thing your grass does. They pull sugars down into the roots for winter. Dandelions, clover, ground ivy, all of them. They're stockpiling. So you feed them a systemic herbicide right now. That chemical hitches a ride on the sugar. It rides straight down. And it kills the root, not just the leaf. Timing. Mid-September to mid or late October. Weeds still green, still growing. Get it done before a hard freeze locks them up. Now technique. Don't blanket spray the whole yard. That's a waste. Spot treat instead. Hit the weed, not the lawn. You save product. You put less chemical down. Everybody wins. But listen, here's the conflict. Did you just overseed? Then keep that herbicide off the new grass. It'll fry those baby seedlings. Wait until you've mowed the new stuff a few times. Usually 2 to 4 mowings. The label tells you exactly. Follow it. Money talk. A concentrate runs $15 to $40 and makes gallons. Ready to use. $10 to $25 in a jug. Skip this, and those perennials just overwinter, roots and all. Come spring, they're back, tougher, and way harder to kill. Okay, jokes aside for 30 seconds. That label on the jug is federal law. Read every word. Confirm your grass type is listed on it. Keep the kids and Scout off the treated grass as long as it says. No shortcuts here. Do this in the right window. And most of your weeds are done for good. That's the whole ball game. Hit the weed, not the yard. Job number 5. Keep mowing and mulch those leaves. Here's the thing folks get wrong. They park the mower in September. Big mistake. Your cool season grass doesn't quit when it cools off. It keeps growing right up until the soil nears freezing, so it still needs cutting. Now the leaves. Think about a blade of grass. It's a little solar panel. Bury it under a thick wet leaf mat and you unplug it. That mat smothers the crown. It traps moisture. It breeds disease all winter. So don't rake. Mow. Mulch mowing shreds those leaves into confetti. The bits filter down into the turf and rot away. Free fertilizer. Cheap. Easy. Done. Height matters. Keep your cool season grass at 3 to 4 inches and follow the 1/3 rule. Never take off more than 1/3 of the blade in one pass. Cut more and you shock it. Now the myth I heard for 25 years, scalp it short before winter. Do not do that. Scalping stresses the turf. It exposes the crowns to cold. Only drop your final cuts a little. Modest and gradual. That reduces winter matting and snow mold. One more thing, that blade, keep it sharp. A dull blade tears the grass instead of slicing it. Every torn tip is an open door for disease. Down south with Bermuda, different animal. That grass gets mowed way lower, roughly 1 to 2 inches. Okay, jokes aside for 30 seconds. Before your hands go anywhere near that deck, pull the spark, plug wire. Every single time. Dale skipped that once. He's got 9 fingers now. Mow high. Shred the leaves. Job number 6. Manage your fall watering. This one has 2 totally different jobs. Here's why. A new seedling has almost no roots. It's clinging to the top ½ inch of soil. Let that seed bed dry out for one afternoon and it's gone. Dead. All of it. In a single warm, breezy day. You wasted the seed. You wasted the aeration. You wasted the starter fertilizer. That's $100 or more. Gone. Over one skipped watering. So new seed gets babied. Keep that top layer damp. Light sprinkles, 1 to 3 times a day. Just enough to stay moist. Once it sprouts and roots down, back off slow. Now your established lawn is the opposite animal. Deep roots want deep water. Give it about 1 inch a week total. Rain counts. Water deep, water rarely. That trains roots to chase moisture down. But here's the clay problem. Pour a full inch on clay at once and half of it runs off, straight down the driveway. So split it. 1/2 inch, twice a week. It soaks in instead of racing off. And don't overdo it. Soggy clay wastes water and breeds disease. How do you measure an inch? A $2 rain gauge. Or a straight-sided can on the lawn. Cheap, easy, done. The difference between a $2 can and a dead seed bed? Everything. New seed sipping. Old grass gulping. Job number 7. Thatch, grubs, and the disease you can stop right now. Start with thatch. It's a layer between your green blades and the soil. Living roots and dead stems, all tangled together. A little is fine. It cushions the crown. Too much acts like a thatched roof. Water sheets off. Roots grow in the thatch, not the dirt. Bluegrass makes more of it than bunch-type fescue does. So measure it. Cut a little wedge and look. Under 1/2 inch? Leave it alone. Over 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch? Now you act. And here's the payoff. Remember job number 2? Core aeration also chews through thatch. 2 problems, 1 machine. If you already aerated, you might be done. If not, grab a dethatching rake, $20 to $40. A power dethatcher rents for $60 to $100 a day. Do it in early fall, not July. Ripping thatch in summer heat just cooks a stressed lawn. Now grubs. These are beetle babies. Japanese beetle, masked chafer, feeding on your roots underground. Peak damage hits late summer into early fall. The tell? Dead patches you can peel up like carpet. But don't panic spray. Confirm it first. Dig up a square foot and count the little white grubs. A few is normal. A lot means treat. Okay, jokes aside for 30 seconds. That insecticide label is federal law. Read it. Some hammer pollinators, so timing matters. Treat only a confirmed infestation, never a hunch. Scout digs his own holes. That's a different problem. Measure thatch. Confirm grubs. Then act. Now let me say something about who profits here. There's no guy in a tower cackling over your crabgrass. Nobody's scheming against your lawn. It just pays better. It pays a whole lot better to sell you an 8-visit program. Way more than telling you a $12 blade sharpening fixes half your troubles. There's no money in the sharp blade, so nobody runs a commercial for it. That's the whole thing. Real talk. Half of what my company sold people, they didn't need. I said it earlier. I meant it. Some of those visits were just visits. That's the honest part I owe you. Now let me set your expectations straight, because I won't lie to you for a click. Seed isn't a magic carpet. Bluegrass takes 2 to 3 weeks just to sprout, then months to actually thicken up. Your fall lawn might not look finished until next spring. That's normal. Don't panic. Aeration isn't one and done either. High traffic clay wants it again every 1 to 2 years. It's maintenance, not a cure. And weed control? Rarely 100% in one shot. Tough perennials like ground ivy laugh at the first pass. You'll hit them again. One more. Weather can shrink your window. That's exactly why the mid-August start exists. It buffers you against an early freeze or a hot, dry September that just won't quit. Set the expectation right. Skip the heartbreak. So this weekend, here's all I want you to do. Cheapest first. Task 1. Buy a bag of fall fertilizer. That's $20 to $60. Sweep it off the driveway. Done. Task 2. Grab a broadleaf concentrate. That's $15 to $40. It makes gallons. Spot treat your weeds. Now, if you've got bare spots, the big 2. Rent a core aerator. That's $60 to $100 a day. Split it with Dale. He owes you a beer anyway. Then buy your seed. That's $50 to $150. Sequence matters here. Aerate first, then seed, then water, then feed. Time your weeds, spray around the new grass. Do all 4 yourself? You're at $60 to $150 in. Materials. That same package from a pro? $250 to $600 a visit. Overseed alone runs $150 to $400. Aeration, another $100 to $250. Now the big picture. A full-service program runs $1,800 to $2,600 a year. $2,000 every year. Over 10 years, that's low to mid-thousands out the door. For jobs you can knock out in 2 weekends with a rake. I'm not saying the pros are crooks. I was one. I'm saying you can do this. And keep the money. The tools cost less than 1 visit. Do it yourself. Bank the difference. Now, do me a favor. Drop a comment. Tell me your city and state. Tell me what your lawn's doing right this minute. And tell me your worst lawn fail ever. I read every single one, usually with coffee, sometimes with a beer. Depends on the day. Next time, I'm going to show you the one spring mistake that undoes all this fall work. Most people make it in April. You won't. Quick recap. 7 jobs. Overseed the thin spots. Aerate the clay. Feed the roots. Kill the weeds. Keep mowing. Water smart. Handle thatch and grubs. That's the whole fall program. Do it in order. Bank the money. Keep your blades sharp. Keep your lines straight. And I'll see you out in the yard.